Imagine you're chugging along the road of life, and one day you get the devastating news that you have a terminally ill disease. The doctor gives you 6 months to live. You know it's going to be a long, painful, agonizing road, and not just for yourself, but a financial, physical, and mental burden for your loved ones. Would you not want the option to end things on your terms? Would you not want to take matters into your own hands? Would you not at least want the option to do it? In a case discussion in 2008 titled "The Desire for Death in Setting of Terminal Illness," states that in Winnipeg, Canada, 45% of terminally ill patients had expressed a fleeting desire for death. In the Netherlands, 8.5% expressed a sincere and unequivocal desire to die, which persisted over time. In New York, 17% expressed a desire to hasten their life. Today, I'm going to persuade the audience that the United States government should legalize the option for physician-assisted suicide in all 50 states. Let's start with a closer look at what problems exist. I'm going to explain what physician-assisted suicide is and where it can currently and legally be done, and who it is for. In an article titled "Is Physician-Assisted Suicide Legal? Is it Ethical?" by the Institute of Clinical Bioethics at St. Joseph's University on February 1, 2011 states that physician-assisted suicide gives a patient a prescription for a lethal dose of medication with the intention of them ending their own life. The physician provides the means for death, but it is the patient who must make the coherent, conscious decision to use the drug to end their life. An article at popcorn.org titled "States with Physician-Assisted Suicide" explained that there are currently 8 states in the United States: California, Colorado, Hawaii, Maine, New Jersey, Oregon, Virginia, Washington, along with Washington, D.C., that have legal physician-assisted suicide via legislation, and 1 state, Montana, that has legal physician-assisted suicide via a court ruling. Most terminally ill patients actually do not opt to go this route, but all should have at least the option. Care is taken to ensure the patient is making a coherent and informed decision, and physician-assisted death has occurred in less than 1% of all deaths in the states of Oregon and Washington, according to Robert Kiltzman from CNN, explained in 2018. Now that I've explained what it is and what the problem is, I can discuss the causes. The causes lie on 3 main levels. First of all, the cost of hospice and medical bills is astronomical. Next, some people would like to have dignity in death. And lastly, it is a means to an end for pain and suffering. A Washington Post analysis of hundreds of thousands of U.S. hospice records indicate that what used to be an industry mainly taken care of by communities and religious organizations has now grown to a $17 billion industry, and patient care has suffered along the way. An article in the Daily Mail on October 22, 2021, talks about a retired teacher, 95 years old, who is sending the message that laughter is medicine for the soul, and decided to end her own life on her terms. Her daughter's reaction quotes that she was laughing and smiling when she took her own life, when she took the drink with no hesitation. She wanted to go happy and in control. She wanted to be free, and she was just about to be. Kathleen M. Foley writes in an article titled "Pain, Physician-Assisted Suicide, and Euthanasia." Pain is only one of the compelling factors that lead patients to request physician-assisted suicide and euthanasia. Uncontrolled symptoms, psychological distress, and existential suffering appear to be equally profound in the decision of physician-assisted suicide. Now that we understand the causes, I can go over the solutions. The solutions lie on three main levels: personal, professional, and governmental. If you're unfortunate to be or have a loved one who has been diagnosed with a terminally ill disease, have the conversation. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable, but know your options. You should know that you should do your research and know if this is something that's right for you. According to an article in the Boston Globe on October 17, 2021, when Medscape surveyed 5,000 physicians nationwide in 2020 and asked, should physician-assisted suicide be legal? 55% of them said yes. Of the states that have legalized physician-assisted suicide, there are regulations put in place. 1, the patient must be terminally ill, meaning they have less than 6 months to live. 2, they must make 3 separate requests for physician-assisted suicide, 2 orally with no less than 15 days in between, and 1 written. And lastly, be in a healthy mental state. Today we have discussed what physician-assisted suicide is and where it can be done, causes, and solutions. If you are ever traveling down the road of life and are struck with the burden of dealing with terminal illness, know that it is okay to take matters into your own hands. There are options on how it ends. What can we do about it? Have the conversation. Talk about it with your loved ones. Talk about it with your friends. Write to your local senators and have them push legislation to make this an option in your state. Just because it is an option doesn't mean that you have to do it. As with all things in life, and death for that matter, this might not be the right thing for everyone, but everyone should at least have the option if they deem fit.